Mic test, yeah.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Good evening and welcome to the live commentary. Satbhai, good evening. Welcome to the Combox.
Thank you very much, Jamal. Thanks a lot.
We are about to go live here. The Stars looking to defend the 257.
Very good total.
Good total on this wicket. But they'll be disappointed. They could have easily crossed 300 the way they were going, and the Crimsons did well to pull them back.
Yes, if you see first 9-10 overs, they almost near 100. So after that 28th over they score 180 something. So I think that if they can carry on that pace on that time, easily they can make 300 plus, and which can be a very good example. You know, we can carry forward that, okay, in EPS we have seen 300 plus. Just like Arjun Mutarja, we witnessed the two beautiful, wonderful centuries, and the way he was playing was so good. 18 fours he hit during his batting. Wonderful. That was very good show.
The Crimson's openers coming in, Rohan Rangaraja and Karabo Motlanka. They'll be looking to chase this 257 down. Hosnain Shah marking his run-up. He will make sure that it will be a tough job or impossible job. He's pumped up to go. Had a little chat with Hosnain Shah during the dinner break. He's a very intelligent cricketer. Thinks a lot about the game, thinks about his bowling. And despite the very mild-mannered nature, he's an absolute competitor.
Oh yes. Lights are on, weather is beautiful, and I think that before lunch, weather become a little bit windy, but now there is no air. You can see that, you know, not even single leaf is moving.
Yes, it's dead calm, waiting for the storm to begin.
Yes.
The lights slowly taking shape here. IE ground looking picture perfect, and the crowd steadily building for the second half of this match. And I just met a Singaporean gentleman who's more a fan of soccer, but he had stayed behind to watch the cricket, and he was commenting that he'd never seen IE look this active and beautiful under lights, and he was really appreciating the cricket and the level of cricket being put on show here. And he promised me he's going to call his friends and stay for the rest of the game.
That's good. I want to give a message to our cricket community that, you know, if you can come and watch these matches, it will be great. You know, you come and you watch matches. End of the day, you know, you can have good outing with the family, and there is a catering in IA. So whatever you want to eat, you drink, you can they all offer here.
Husnain Shah straight away going around the wicket. And tucking up Karabo Motlanka, not giving that room. This is what I was talking about before. It's a very sharp cookie. Husnain Shah straight away into a good line and length, and not trying to experiment, going around the wicket. He seems to have assessed conditions very well. It's a good bit of keeping there by Siddharth Shinde.
Husnain Shah, if you see from his previous games, for the new ball, he's bowling outswing, and right now he changed. He went to the round the wicket, and left-hand batsman is batting there. So he need to make sure that he should control his swing. And on this kind of pitch, you know, with the new ball, he need to, yeah, beautiful ball. This is the length he should bowl.
Yes, and if he continues to hit this length on a regular basis, it's not going to be easy for the Crimson's batsman.
Yes.
He's got some real pace behind the ball.
And if you see from the ball one, they don't have first slip. So from here you can understand the approach of the captain, you know, what message he has given to the bowler, because he don't want anything on the driving length.
Yes. They seem to have a wide gully, more for a back of a length bowling. And the Sam, all the stars seem to be pumped up, bubbly, cheering each other. Good energy on the park. Young Reza Ghaznavi charging his team up, making sure all of them are on their toes. Siddhant Singh, he's the cheerleader. It's a very good delivery, straight away on the money.
I think if Husnain is going to bowl in this area where he wants a driving shot, so I think that he can afford to bring that mid-wicket fielder he has. He can bring in the short cover, or they can bring him in the slip.
Yes, I think especially with the new ball.
New ball definitely they need to use properly. You know, there is always a chance on the new ball, and this chance they need to avail. Otherwise, this is such a wonderful batting track, and if they don't avail this chance, you know, then there's a tuk-tuk from the long way.
Absolutely. And if you look at the way the Crimson's new ball bowlers started, they were a bit too short and wide, gave the width and didn't allow the ball to swing, and they paid the price. That's a good delivery, a Yorker.
Right-hander.
It's a very good first over by Husnain Shah. Just the solitary wide conceded. Nothing in it for the batsman. Janak Prakash sitting in the Crimson's dugout. Captain of the Crimsons keeping a close eye on things. Looks like they are going straight away to spin. Virandeep Singh with the new ball. He bowls a very skiddy left arm orthodox. Some wonderful pictures there. Families coming down with their children, enjoying the cricket. And that's the way it should be.
Thank you. Center. Thank you, sir.
It's really turning out to be a beautiful evening for cricket. Virandeep Singh will be looking to go wide of the crease and bowl those low trajectory balls.
Catch it!
Straight away, Rohan Rangaraj gets stuck into him, deposits him out of the long off boundary for 6.
Beautiful shot.
Yes, Rohan Ranga has been in some good form, this youngster. And the first ball he faces, doesn't mind depositing Virandeep Singh amongst the coconut trees.
Coconut tree. Now Virandeep Singh can break the coconut as well.
There you see the crowds building up. People enjoying a cool brew, watching the cricket.
You know, talking about Rohan Rangarajan, you can see the body language of the batsman when he's walking in. You can understand that what kind of confidence he is having. And first ball, I think, you know, he played straight away on the up, and you know, it's amazing shot. And I think that this is all about, you know, when your mind is in control, you know, application of the skills become very easy. So this is how Rangarajan is proving everything right.
Virandeep Singh straight away adjusting his line and length.
Good Adi. Good Arjun, I like that Arjun.
This is quite a manageable run rate required if the Crimsons keep wickets in hand. That's another very good shot, uppish, but finds the gap. Transfers his weight to the back foot and cuts it away for 4. Fast IA boundary lines and the ground does the rest.
If you see the field position here, Chamal, you can see that there's a deep mid-wicket, right? On the new ball on a skiddy track, you know, and when bowler is bowling, you know, just like he's not coming top on his head, he's bowling in his shoulder area. So when he's bowling, I think he should need to have deep extra cover there.
Absolutely, Sadbhai. I think the communication between the bowler and the captain needs to be very good here.
Yes.
Could be a chance here. Slight fumble. Because the field was set for deliveries to be much straighter. And if Virandeep Singh is going to go wide off that off stump, he will need that support. At the end of 2 overs, Crimson's 11 for the loss of no wicket. Lanka.
You see, if you are bowling in this area, you don't need to have mid-wicket. You can have short cover, flat track, you know, and as a bowler, you will have full confidence to bowl in pitch. You can pitch up. Yes. And if there is swing, you know, there are 3 chances. You can get LBW, you can get caught behind, you can get bowled as well.
Yes, the Stars are missing a trick here. Gives me great pleasure to welcome my old mate, the Crescent's overseas pro, Charles Weisver, into the comm box. Charlie, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Jamal De Silva. Happy to be here once again to commentate about today's game. It's been a very entertaining game. We thought they would score 400 early on in the afternoon.
That's a very good bit of fielding there by Arjun Mutreja as we speak. Yes, this Stars seem to have got to a very quick start, but the Crimson seem to have pulled them back.
I saw the projected scores at 800 and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a world record. I had to jump out of my bed and rush here.
Yes, the Stars certainly would be disappointed not crossing 300, but they do have 257 on the board, and with their bowling firepower, they should look to try and defend that. Karabo Matlanka and his partner in crime, Rohan Rangaraja. They've had a good opening stand in the T20s as well as the 50 overs. So they'll be looking to get a steady start here.
Yeah, they've both been very instrumental for the Crimsons throughout the tournament. They've held their nerve and they've stuck to the wicket. They've given the Crimsons a very good start throughout the tournament.
Tell me a little bit about the time you spend off the park. I see you coaching the under-17s, joining the SCA Coaching Academy on the weekends with the youngsters, sharing your knowledge and also enjoying yourself. You seem to be having a great time in Singapore.
Yeah, it was very exciting to be a part of the youngsters. I mean, it's all of us come from being youngsters to modified international cricketers. So giving a hand to the youngsters is part of giving back to cricket. LBW appeal there, straight ball into the stumps.
Hosnain Shah. I tell you what.
I think it was missing leg. Missing leg.
That ball seemed to
Good
be
decision
going
from
down.
the umpire. Good decision from the umpire.
The ball seemed to be going down leg side, but that was a very good delivery. Hosnain Shah, like all fast bowlers, was 100% certain that was hitting middle.
Unfortunately, it is going down the leg.
I agree with you, Chelsea. That was missing leg stump.
Yeah, we were still with the youngster programs here. I was pretty excited and very amazed on how Singapore is dealing with the youngsters here. It's so, like the way the programs are run, the youngsters are introduced to the more skills, highly skilled coaches that are getting involved in the maturing of the game, which is unlike in some other parts of the world, say in Africa. Youngsters are, you get probably 2 coaches dealing with 1 youngster, which is unlikely in some parts of the world, and they are actually doing very well with the development program here.
Young Yusuf Aslam introduced into the attack. Karabo Matlanka finds a way to rotate the strike. Charles, how do you think they should go about this chase? I think they need to identify the bowlers that pose the threats, like Hosnain Shah, play him cautiously.
Yes, I think Hosnain Shah has been very instrumental for the Stars throughout the tournament. Being that he comes from the subcontinent, that is Lahore in Pakistan, he has more knowledge on how to bowl on these flatter decks than any other bowler in the tournament. So he's been very instrumental for them, and if they see him off, then they will be able to attack the other bowlers.
Short, wide. Dealt harshly for 4. Seem to be drifting down the legs. And in the form that Rohan Rangaraj is in, that would be bread and butter for him.
Yes, Rohan has been very instrumental for the Crimsons throughout the tournament. Like I said, he's a very dangerous young man to bowl to. He can hit you all over the place. He's got all the shots, so he's not scared to take the game to the bowlers, and that is what you need from a top order batsman, to take the game to the bowlers. And for as long as you're on top of the bowlers, then you've got the game in hand. You control the game.
Young Yusuf Aslam's action reminds me of the great off-spinner from India, Harbhajan Singh. Those wide arms flaring away towards the beginning of his run-up. At the end of 4 overs, Crimson's 19 for the loss of no wickets.
Nice and steady approach towards the score.
This is the replay of that vicious Yorker from Hosnain Shah. Yes, you could see all 3 stumps when Karabo Matlanka was being struck, so that seemed to have been missing. Hosnain Shah really bending his back, trying to extract all the pace he can. He's consulting with the umpire to make sure that front line is negotiated well. Is that a tactic all you fast bowlers, you develop a relationship with the umpires?
It's not really the fast bowlers only. I mean, as a cricketer, you need to be very friendly with everyone on the ground, whether the umpires or the groundsmen, or you need to be friendly with everyone. Yeah, but most times a short ball
That
going
was
down
quick.
the leg and gone for 4.
Yes, Siddhi Chinde didn't know much about it behind the stumps, let alone the batsman, almost hitting the helmet and conceding 5.
Even the wicketkeeper didn't know where the ball was.
Yes, beating everyone. Hosnain Shah looking a bit frustrated.
Yeah, it's very painful as a fast bowler if the ball is going through the wicketkeeper's legs. I mean, it's really hard work for you to go back and then you have to bowl that ball again, extra runs. Oh, missed run out.
That was a close opportunity. Had that struck, could have gotten Rohan Ranga.
And that's the man they should be targeting.
Absolutely.
That's the man they should be targeting. He's very dangerous, very dangerous. Can take the game away from the Stars in less than 30 overs. They will be home and dry.
And that was a very intelligent bit of cricket by Aditya Rangaswamy, because he picked the right end to throw that at. Almost pinging Hosnain Shah in the process. That was seriously quick.
Extra bounce from a good length. That's all you need from a fast bowler. Anything outside of stump, it will be slashed at. Anything short will be pulled. You can't afford to be hit square of the wicket on such tracks, because there you know you're bowling badly. For as long as you're being hit mid off, mid on, just know you're into play as a medium pacer.
There is a slip in place, but I'm wondering if Hosnain Shah does get the edge, will it fly? He's bowling rapid here.
That one kept low.
Yes.
Must have been a slower ball.
Looked like he rolled his fingers over it. The wicket-keeper's gloves getting a real work over here.
I think for the wicket-keeper, you should be able to judge the bounce off the track. As a wicket-keeper, you need to know where to stand, or either 3-4 steps back or 3-4 steps in front. You need to be knowing, because you have the clear view of the track more than anyone on the ground. So you need to be able to adjust yourself accordingly on every ball. So for me, the wicketkeeper letting balls through their legs is really uncalled for.
This is a much better field. Second slip being put in there. Skipper, the Stars, Reza Ghaznavi, asking his quick man to bowl it full, make use of that new ball to try and nick a few men out. Yes, Setij is more a part-time wicket-keeper standing in. Usually it's Aman Desai behind the stumps for the Stars. And yes, his work is going to be cut out tonight with Husnain Shah really cranking up the pace.
Yeah, yes, even if he's a part-time wicket-keeper, but he has chose to take on the job, so he has to be very clinical behind the stumps. Oh, another missed chance there. A bit of miscommunication from the batsman. Oh.
I think that was, once again, had they gathered a little bit, they had ample time to throw it to the bowler's end, and Rohan would have been miles out. 2 missed opportunities. This might be costly.
Yeah, I think Karabo is ball watching there. He's supposed to be looking at his partner rather than watch the fielder. See that?
And that's the first ball I've seen really turn this evening. And yesterday, at around the same time, the ball started to grip and turn a bit. The Crescent's batters made the job look quite easy. There we go, Karabo Motlanka whipping it off his pads.
Yeah, Karabo Mutranga is a very patient guy on the crease. He's actually the anchorman, I would call him. Crimsons has played around him throughout the tournament, and he has really delivered for his team. Down the ground, and he's hit for 6. That is Rohan. Once again taking the game to the bowlers.
Yes, and he makes it look so effortless. But that fielder, Siddhant Singh, seemed to have wandered quite a far bit away from the boundary lines. It would have been interesting had he been standing on the ropes.
Only if he had been an inch taller, he would have gotten that one.
Yes. So that's almost 3 lives that Rohan Rangaraj has been receiving in the last 3 overs.
That's a lack of batsmen. Bowlers never get any luck.
That's, oh, this is harsh. That's been adjudged a wide. Well, Sithit Shinde behind the stumps has put his dancing shoes on. Gave it a full go with his right boot. That is another decision that might cost the Stars, to have half a wicket keeper behind.
Half a wicket keeper. It's been the wicket keepers have not really been tidy behind the stumps throughout the tournament. As a bowler, I've witnessed that. So much has passed through them throughout the tournament. I don't know if it's because of the bounce off the track, judgment of the bounce from the bowlers. I really don't know, but it's been maybe the bowlers have also been both sides of the wicket, which also makes it hard for the keepers.
And also talk a little bit about it after this delivery. Running the first one really hard. Looking for the third. Rohan Ranga losing his bat in the process. Yes, and as we were speaking about the wicket-keeping tidiness, there's been some really quick bowlers on show in this EPS, and that's something that these wicket-keepers in the league may not be quite used to. So as a result, they tend to stand a further couple of yards back and then when the ball keeps low or swings late as a result of the heat, they tend to make a muck of things.
Oh, then that could be a nice excuse for the wicket keepers, because they've not seen so much bounce being extracted out of the tracks during this tournament. I think they're used to standing a bit up for their bowlers in the league, and now they're being tested with the guys that have got extra pace.
And also quality bowling. We saw a lot of late movement. That certainly is a wide, and Sithit Shinde certainly doing an admirable job on that occasion. Saved 4 runs for his team.
It's not really a very big target on this track. You've got to save every run, because it's going to count at the end of the game. Whatever runs you save will matter. You don't want to give it away in probably 30 overs. You want to fight until the last over.
Yes, that one hit the pads quicker than he anticipated. Now this will be really interesting. Should the Crimsons win it this evening, the points would be a tie, and then we'll have to look at run rates. So I'm wondering whether the Crimsons have a small piece of paper in their pockets indicating how quickly they should do away with this chase.
I mean, being coached by one of the best coaches in Singapore, I think Ajun Menon should be knowing what exactly they need, how quick do they need to get the score, and what is the mathematics saying at this point in time? Should they take it slow, or should they try and attack and maybe get it in 30 overs? He should be knowing. I'm pretty sure he should be knowing.
Yes, both Bilal Azad and Arjun Menon, very competitive, very well informed. That was a very good delivery and beautifully played and well fielded. You could see the late shape of the ball tailing in. I think a few throws would come using the square, enabling the ball to be scuffed up a little. Would you say, Chelsea?
Yeah, the square has been very helpful in scuffing up the ball. Oh, short and into the batsman. Wicketkeeper misses it again. Was a great delivery. Did it touch his gloves? Oh, it touched the bat.
That's
and it
strange.
continued swinging. Yeah. Back into the batsman.
If you can have a replay of that one more time. Oh yes, indeed. It got the antenna of the bat.
That's a great shot.
Yes, can't set a field to that. Hussain Shah would feel a bit unlucky. And he's really bending his back, putting a great effort in here for the Stars. You can almost hear a grunt when he's delivering it.
And that was a great forward defensive from Rohan. He looks not scared of anything. He's ready to take on anything that is thrown at him.
So also he swayed away well. That's a magnificent shot. Hussain Shah full. Wasn't all that wide, but Rohan Rangaraj really leaning into it. An elegant cover drive. 4 runs.
Like I said, Rohan is a very, very talented young man. And he scores at a very, very quick rate. So the Stars have got a lot of work to do to work him out and break that partnership.
And the Crimsons quietly but steadily have accelerated to 48 off 7 overs. And the Stars have already conceded well over 10 extras in the form of donations to the Crimson's cause.
Yes, that's very true. Extras have also been very instrumental in this tournament. I think most of the teams have bowled quite a number of extras. I mean, with this kind of game at this level, extras they're not called for, and they always shoot you in a leg at one stage of the game. Because you look back and you lose a game by, say, 10, 20 runs, and all those came in extras. So for me, it's for the bowlers, they need to be tidy all the time. The margin of error is very, very, very small.
That's a good delivery, right in the block hole there by young Yusuf Aslam. Karabo Motlanka has been the ideal partner for Rohan Ranga. He rotates the strike and gets him back on. Doesn't keep him waiting too long. Plugged away to deep mid wicket. Avi Dixit doing the fielding there. I've seen young Avi Dixit working overtime together with coach Bilal Asad. He's either bowling or batting, or most of the time in the ice bath.
Yes, I've seen most youngsters working with Coach Bilal, and I mean, Coach Bilal is, I would say, is a no-nonsense guy. He's a guy who likes things to be done the right way, and if you slip off like this, he'll give you this LBW appeal. I think that is pitching outside the line.
I think he's sliding with the arm, with the right arm round, going down the legs.
Missing leg.
Umpire Ramsey very rarely gives an LPW. I think he's believing in the old school. Benefit of the doubt goes to the batsman. Karabo Motlanka living dangerously.
I think the spinners have been very key in this tournament. They've kept it straight, and they've done well, I would say.
At the end of 8 overs, Crimson's 52 for the loss of no wicket.
Rohan is on 32 of 26, moving steadily there towards the target. 12 extras in 8 overs.
Let's look at that replay again. That LPW appeal from round the wicket. Yusuf Aslam drifts it in. Well, Sithit Shinde certainly did the right thing, stood exactly where he was and went up in unison with the bowler.
You can clearly see the leg stump.
Yes, that looked not out. What I would really like to see from this quick men is a bit more conscious strategy to set the batsman up. Even their short ball seems to be rather misdirected.
I think me as a bowler, as a medium pacer, personally, the short ball is the first ball that I took out of my bowling plan. It doesn't really work on these tracks.
Now this is a high one. It's gone miles in the air. And it clears long off. That's a magnificent shot. Rohan Rangaraj getting down on one knee. Hitting Husnain Shah long off for 6. That is not an easy shot. He used the pace of the bowler and executed it beautifully.
Slightly outside of stump and a bit full. All you have to do is take his foot forward and have a swipe at it.
And the response, a rapid delivery, nearly locked both batsman and wicket-keeper off.
I think Hasnan Shah has got his top ball is a short ball that it's the one that gets him wickets, and he did well against the Crescents in his first game, picked up 4 wickets. I think guys worked him out throughout the tournament that he only picks wickets off the short ball, and what they've decided to do is just get out of the way.
Yes, and that's why it's so important that the follow-up delivery after the short ball needs to be in the areas where all the dismissals are active, the LBWs, the bowls, the caught behinds. That has been one area where Hussain Shah and also a bit Ghulam Mortaza should work out on, because they have the pace to trouble any batsman. But their follow-up balls after the short ball has been rather wavered. Once again, another magnificent square cut, short, wide on this track. This is asking for trouble.
It's a great cut shot from Rohan. Yeah, anything outside of stump, short and wide, even a blind man will slash it. So for me, the key point for the medium pacers on these tracks is to stay as straight as possible. Keep ducking it into the stumps. You miss a hit. LBW chances off the good length. I mean, mid-off, mid-on. Make the batsman play mid-off, mid-on. It's the only way that you can get chances.
Ooh.
Half volley, straight back into.
The 12th fielder there on the park has saved a certain boundary. The set of stumps at the non-striker's end. Saved the umpire as well. Anand would have been in real trouble.
Rohan moves on to 42 of 32. Karabo Motlanga 8 of 22. Steadily getting towards the target, needing 195 of 200 and something balls.
Arjun,
the replay of that.
अंदर आ रहा है, हर एक बॉल अंदर आ रहा है, तो maybe यहाँ से एक कम कर सकते हैं.
A little bit of movement in the air there.
Tailing back in, looks like we are getting a bit of reverse rather early.
Thanks to the wicket for scuffing up the ball.
Yes, indeed. And once again, Karabo Motlanga doing his job, getting a single, getting to the non-striker's end, and enjoying the show. Why not?
Yeah, it's been very, very instrumental for the Crimsons, and I think the coach John Menon should be very, very pleased with him. He has played his part.
It's a good bit of fielding. Aditya Rangaraj there is such a character in that team.
Yes, he's a very solid man. Even when he had a cut on his web, he still went going. It's a big hit from Rohan.
That's a magnificent blow. Yusuf Maslam treated with disdain here. Taken from wide outside off stump, hitting with the turn, depositing it over wide long on for a huge 6.
It's very amazing how Rohan is a very strong young man vis-a-vis his body physique. He doesn't look a very built guy, but he's got lots of strength. He can dispatch that ball to any part of the ground. I mean, Karabo looks bigger than him.
He has strong wrists and he does a lot of work on his fitness, and he's got a great eye, picks up line and length very quickly. He's a very fit young man, not necessarily strong, but very fit and very strong in the wrists and the bat speed. All these contributing to those massive sixes he hits effortlessly.
Yeah, one thing I discovered about Singapore is after your A-levels, you need to do 2 years of service in the army. I think this has been very, very instrumental for the cricketers, because there's a way they're trained physically, because we played some of the guys that came down to Oman and they had changed from the last time we saw them. they had grown big, and the bowlers were actually bowling much faster than before. I think that would be a very idea for some of the cricketers back in Africa to do a service also in the army, maybe for 6 months, get some strengthening skills, which really helps. I don't know if Rohan has already done his service.
He's got to a 50 now. Very well played, 50 off 35 balls. Yes, he is doing his national service at the moment as we speak. And as you correctly pointed out, it has definitely had a bearing on his fitness. And also Janak Prakash from the Crimsons, if you see, is another national service young man and has really done wonders for the development of their strength. What I like about Rohan is he also is patient to wait and pick those right deliveries to dispatch to the boundary or over it. At the end of 10 overs, Crimson 71 for the loss of no wicket, countering that Stars opening partnership.
Yeah, it's been very tidy. They've not really given out any chances apart from the few missed run-outs. But yeah, we are looking good here. Rohan looking to be set for a big 100 here at the at the Singapore India Association cricket ground. It's going to be very key in the chase. For as long as he stays on the track, is destined for a big 100 here.
Reza Ghaznavi going to his experienced Malaysian international. Virandeep Singh looking for a wicket here, and in the first innings we saw a very good 100 by Arjun Mutreja, another young fit cricketer, and once again who's not really built chock-a-block solid but can hit the ball a long way.
Yes, one thing I discovered is not so many guys are built here in Singapore. That's down the track from Karabo Motlanga, it goes for 4. Very interesting to see Karabo Motlanga coming down the track and hitting it over mid-on for 4.
And I think this is going to be an advantage for the Crimsons, having this left-hand batsman to negotiate the left-arm orthodox bowler. And Karabo Motlanga now joining the party. Better late than never. He's got the disco shirt on, Charlesy. He's come down the track.
He's not waiting too long. He has seen enough of Rohan. So he's also joining the party. Excellent cricket from Karabo. And he picks a one to get Rohan on to strike.
Yes. Now this opening stand really flourishing, giving a number of headaches to the Stars captain, who's being proactive, changing his bowlers around, looking for that wicket, because he must take encouragement from the way the Crimsons managed to pull things back and never to give up. Let's see what Virandeep Singh can do. He's up against a man on fire.
Yes, I think Crimsons has got a bit of a batting, it's a top order, not really depth, because they've got LBW shout from Virandeep.
That looked pretty close. Let's have another look at it. Looked to have straightened, but the umpire thinks otherwise. Rangaraj knocks it down to long on for an easy single.
77 for no after 11 overs.
Yes, cruising at 7 runs and over. I think it's got to be more than winning this game. I think once they get to a certain position, we might see a little message come out, and the Crimsons looking to accelerate even further.
I think they've done very well for the first 11 overs.
Let's have a look at the replay, the LBW appeal. Virandeep Singh, very quick between his overs. Goes wide on the crease with the angle. Looked close than it looked. But the man that matters thinks it's not out. I'm glad we are in the com box, Charlesy. We don't have to make those game-changing decisions.
That was not out. Clearly, you could see it was missing his leg stump.
This is going to be interesting. Aditya Rangaswamy put his shirt out, getting ready for business. Chat to his skipper, making those fine adjustments to the field. Now with the power play finished, they can afford to have more than the minimum 2 outside. There's a deep mid wicket. A third man, a fine leg, and a long off as we speak. There might even be a long on. Oh no, the mid on is inside. The keeper seems to be pointing out that they could utilize one more. Aditya charging in from the Serangoon Road end. Sends it down the leg side. Once again, beats the wicket keeper. This is becoming a familiar sight. Sithit Shinde looks like he's part of the Cirque du Soleil outfit, tumbling away.
Yeah, it's gone down the leg and continued on its way to the boundary. It's so painful for the bowlers that they've not been held by the wicket keepers in this tournament.
Also, that was not the best first ball. This time, short, wide, gleefully accepted by Rohan Rangaraj. Says, thank you very much. I'll deposit it to the fence.
Yeah, cut away for 4. I still believe Aditya will be more effective coming from around the wicket as a left-arm seamer, because when you come from over, you've clearly cut off the angle. That would have been a bit for the batsman not easy to pick up. So his captain tells him to go.
This time, glided down to third man. Hussain Shah does the tidying up. Hussain Shah looks a very serious character, but I can assure you, it's very friendly in nature, always willing to have a conversation. But when he's on the park, inside those ropes,
he plays his cricket very hard.
Very hard.
He has no friends on the cricket ground. But you can smile and talk whatever you want to talk about outside cricket.
Rangaswamy putting some work on that ball, maintaining the shine. I think he'd be looking to find some swing away. Once again, plays a sort of a half pull there to fine leg.
Karabo Mutlanga picks up another single of his fellow countryman.
Yes, they should know each other's game very well. Two Botswanians. The two Ras.
Were bowled Adi. That was straight into the stumps. Rohan had no alternative but to play forward defensive.
Seven fours and 4 sixes already in this innings. It's a good bit of fielding. The use of Aslam, that would have stung viciously Punched away into the backward point region by Rohan.
88 for no after 11.5 overs. Rohan moving on to 56 of 44. Karabo Motlanga 15 of 27.
Aditya Rangaswamy seemed to be straying on the pads or giving too much width outside. Really hasn't found his rhythm. At the end of 12 overs, the Crimson's 88 for the loss of no wicket. 17 extras.
Very expensive from the bowlers. 17 extras after 12 overs. It's really been expensive for the Stars.
There's almost a party atmosphere with the music playing outside at the Indian Association. The familiar crowd gathering for a few cold brews outside the bar.
I mean, it's end of month and I'm pretty sure most of the guys have been paid. They're out to spend a few bucks starting a new week tomorrow.
And there you go, Randeep Singh gets the wicket of Karabo Motlanga, who adventures down the wicket and gets stumped. Sithit Shinde on that occasion, live to the challenge, quickly snaps up those bails. Could this be a turning point?
I think that was a quicker one from Virandip. Karabo Motlanga came down the track and went across the line. Should have stayed straight for a defensive or for a single just in front of covers. Yeah, but great bowling from Virandip. 1 for 16 in 2.1 overs. Yeah, he has done well so far in the first 2 overs. But like I said, the danger man is still on the wicket, so you can't rule it out that this game is going to be entertaining.
And he's joined by Naveen Param, who's another very talented young cricketer, who puts a prize on his wicket.
And also doing his national service.
That's right.
It's very interesting how most of the upcoming stars of Singapore cricket being groomed by the army, I would say. I think that service for the 2 years, there's a way it tunes your mind mentally. You become stronger, because I've heard stories of guys here undergoing training of firefighting, flying the bombardiers and all that, being on water, the navy, in different areas, artillery, different areas of the army, which these are not simple instruments or machines to deal with. I mean, you need to be very, very mentally strong to deal with these kind of machines. And then transferring that mentality into cricket, it becomes very, very simple for them to take on anything. Well ball Virandip Singh, that's a straight one, first ball to Param. Param is also a very quality batsman. He will take his time, but he will stay on the wicket.
And what's very good about both these two youngsters is they run very hard between the wickets, and they convert ones into twos, puts the pressure on the fielders. And you will now see the scoreboard really starting to rotate. And Naveen Param does put a prize on his wicket. He's got shots around the dial. It's a slow starter compared to Rohan Rangarajan, but he'll hold one end up solidly. As you see, the single stolen.
Could be two. Oh,
Lamaran, they had shot third man. Yes, like he was talking about, Charlesy, the stints in the military, in the various departments, be it the army, the navy, the air force. what it also does is instill and engrave a certain amount of discipline and focus in these youngsters at a very influential age, and that is going to augur very well for Singapore cricket.
That's very, very, very true. I mean, when you look at most nations, the most disciplined institution of the government will be the military. I mean, all military guys all over the world. I think the number one aspect that they take on is discipline. For as long as you don't have any discipline, you can't serve your nation. So for me, it's very, very amazing to see that these youngsters, these young men have taken on the challenge to serve their nation for the 2 years, which is not actually taking it. It is a must. You have to serve in the army for 2 years before you join university. But the amount of skills that they acquire during the 2 years of service is recommendable. You cannot find anywhere in Africa from such youngsters. You can't compare these youngsters to say our youngsters back at home, because they don't have as much skill as these guys have. Neither do they get any training from, say, the police or the military. They don't.
Yes, if you'd see the highly developed nations of the world like Switzerland, Singapore, they have that mandatory military service. Aditya Rangaraj steaming in, and he is smashed, absolutely smashed, over deep mid wicket for 4. Rohan Rangaraj wasting no time. First ball. He's now really showing intent. That piece of paper might have come out from the changing room.
Exactly. I think he has now changed gears. He's moved from gear number 2 straight into 5. So clearly the message has come in that we need to get going as soon as possible. The Crimsons move on to 94 for 1 after 13.1. Aditya Rangaswamy running in for the Stars. Oh, short.
That was a good short ball, also well negotiated by Rohan Rangaraj, swerving away. And that's a good way to play the short ball, keeping your eyes on it, isn't it?
Yes, it's been very, very key in this tournament, just to keep your eyes on the ball and get out of the way. Because most of the guys that have tried to take on the short ball have either been caught somewhere between square leg and deep mid wicket. Yep. Well bowled Aditya Rangaswamy, straight in the stumps and played down the ground for 1 by Rohan.
And this is where the Stars need to be patient and build a string of dot balls, and then hope that these two batsmen would make a mistake or play a shot in an area where they're looking to get them out in, to build some sort of pressure. That's what the Crimsons were able to do when they were bowling and when the Stars were going off to a flyer.
They actually did it. They did very well to pull the game back, because the start wasn't very, very nice. Short and wide. Oh, he's lucky. He's lucky. He's been saved by the umpire. That should have been called a wide.
That certainly looked a wide. Reza Ghaznavi looking where his next bowling option is going to be.
I think the keeper picked that from second slip.
It's a good slower ball, once again safely negotiated to deep third man. Navin Param doing the right thing, getting the set batsman who's going so well back on strike.
The Param brothers, how many are they?
Yes, on this EPS, 2 of them are on shore. That's a good slower ball.
Great slower ball from Aditya Rangaswamy. I think the slower balls have also been very instrumental in, throughout this tournament. When you look at the kind of wicket that it has been, does not really change that much. It has been consistent throughout the tournament. So for the medium pacers, bowling straight has been very key, and the variations also have been very, very instrumental.
At the end of 14 overs, Crimson's 96 for the loss of 1. I think the Stars need a couple of tight overs. They can build some sort of pressure.
Virandeep Singh continues for the Stars, moving into his 4th over. He's got 1 wicket for 19 runs. It's been pretty tight for the Stars.
I would really like to see young Siddhant Singh bowl here. He's the type of bowler that has a knack of picking wickets up. You know, he gives you the impression. It's again plonked down to long off. Siddhant Singh gives you the impression that he's a very jovial character, he's a very carefree character, but he's a fierce competitor. And he always tries to outsmart the batsman, either with a variation using the change of pace. He wouldn't be such a bad option right now.
Yeah, I think the Stars captain should believe and trust his bowlers, no matter the age. I mean, the Crimsons used a youngster, the young Kartik Shah, the leg spinner. Even the Crescents used their youngsters yesterday to open the bowling. So I think he should be able to believe in the youngster. And I mean, this is the right stage for the youngster to mature. You know, you've got to give him the ball. Oh, that's a big one from Rohan. Slog sweep from Rohan of Virandeep, and it's hit for 6.
That seemed to have landed in the drinks bar. Knocked a few jolly followers. Straight in, chairs fall over the place. Magnificent shot.
This is what the military can do.
Firepower at its best.
Another slog sweep from Rohan. Virandeep Singh cannot believe what's happening to him.
There's Virandeep Singh tossing it up and inviting him to go, and he takes the invitation and launches him into the night sky. That one had frequent flyer miles on it. It's gone a long way, Charles.
That's a long way. Good comeback from Virandeep Singh outside of stump, and a leave from Rohan. Virandeep Singh is 1 for 33 after 5 overs.
Rohan Rangaraj steadily progressing to 75 of 54. And the Crimsons are 1-1-1 for the loss of 1. It's a Nelson.
Let's see if we will pick a wicket. The Stars will pick a wicket off this figure.
Yes, the old umpire David Shepherd used to stand on one leg.
So where did this story of the Nelson start from?
Sorry?
Where did the story of the Nelson figure start from? And being attached to bad luck in cricket.
It's a very good delivery, quick single, snatched away.
Aditya Rangaswamy continues for the Stars from the Ferreira Park end. Steaming in for the Stars is considered 18 runs off his 2.1 overs. Aditya Rangaswamy being very clinical here, pitching the ball in the right areas. He continues from the Serangoon Road end. He's doing well to keep the rate down for the Stars. Well, ball once again onto the pads, and it is clipped for one by Rohan. Crimsons move out 1-1-3 for one after 15.3 overs, needing 144 from 207 balls. Oh, Rangaswamy.
Yeah. Doesn't follow.
Considered dislodged.
That one kept low.
So is this considered dislodged?
Clearly, the batsman doesn't know.
This is off.
Did it go through the bells? Go through the stumps?
Oh, the bails has not dropped.
The ball hits.
The bail.
How lucky can you be as a batsman?
Yes, young Reza Ghaznavi, being a lawyer, a trained lawyer, arguing the point with the umpire with a fair argument. Since it had come out of the groove, he was asking whether that could be considered as being dislodged. Wonderful to see. It's a good delivery.
Well bowled Aditya Rangaswamy. Straight, full Yorker. And it's for a defensive from Param.
That would
Missed
have
run
been-
out, overthrow, and they pick up the single.
But he really had to go for it. There was a chance to get a run out. Concedes an overthrow. Yes, we come back to the previous question which you asked me about the Nelsons. I think the story goes something like this. Crimson's 114 for the loss of 1 at the end of 16 overs. The Nelson 111 resembles the 3 stumps without bails. So it's considered an unlucky omen. But also, there used to be a cricketer in the New Zealand team in the late 1800s who was called Nelson, and in both his first appearance and last appearance, he was dismissed for 111, and hence the Nelson is called a bad luck number for the cricketers. Chelsea, you're really testing my knowledge of cricket there. I hope I have answered you comprehensively.
It sounds to be a legitimate story. I don't know how authentic it is.
Well, that's what I was told, and from a very reliable source back in the day, so I guess might be true. At least the fact that it resembles 3 stumps with the bails dislodged. Can't argue with that. And as we were looking forward to seeing this young man, Reza Ghaznavi has thrown the ball to young Siddhant Singh. I think this is good captaincy. Rotates the bowling, consistently looking for a wicket. Can Siddhant Singh deliver one here? This is very good batting. Naveen Param advancing down the pitch, changing the angles, enabling him to hit the gap for a single and get Rohan Rangarajan back on strike.
That's true. You need to keep Rohan on strike because he's the man who has played himself into the game. So he's clearly seeing the ball much better than Param. Param needs to tickle it round a bit, get a few singles, and then get his legs moving before he can start attacking the bowlers. But once again, it's good to see Siddhant taking on the ball at this point in time. Nice, juicy half volley.
That ball has been absolutely smoked through the covers
for four.
Wide swinging half volley, asking to be punished. Bang.
You cannot afford to bowl that to Rohan. Anything pitched up, he'll go. Anything outside of stump, he'll slash. Anything short. That's the kind of player he is. For a bowler, you need to stay as straight as possible. Into his body, try and make him uncomfortable onto his ribs. There he will just keep clipping it onto the square or onto the leg side for one.
And it's once again drilled down to long off. And what's interesting to see when Rohan Rangaraj bats, there is no unnecessary movements, there's no unnecessary wasting of energy. He stands dead still, that head is absolutely still, and he just reacts to the bowler.
Yeah, he's got a very nice technique. You know, he cannot be moved by any pace or any bounce. So clearly, he looks to be a very solid young man.
Immediately capitalizing on yet another wicket keeping error as well as an overthrow. Apart from being very technically sound, he is also very sharp. So Naveen Param wasn't that alert, but doing the right thing, responding to his partner, and as a result, they collect 2.
Clearly, the bowler looks confused. He doesn't know what's happening. But that's very untidy from the wicketkeeper. You need to give it all your best. If you decided to take on the gloves, so be it, and make sure you're tidy behind the stumps. I mean, a wicketkeeper plays a very important role in any cricket game.
Yes, he certainly is the nucleus around which the team generates, isn't it? It's almost the most important cog once he's out there in the field. Unless he's captaining, he needs to support, make sure the troops are high in morale, adjust those angles. Yes.
Yeah, yes, that's very true. The wicketkeeper is one position that you can clearly see all the field placings very well. You're more or less like an umpire, because you're standing in a good angle whereby you can see everyone. So you need to be very supportive and adjust the field accordingly.
That's a good delivery, a Yorker. Gosith Shinde usually is a very good fielder, but clearly he's not a wicketkeeper at this level. A very good batsman and a very good fielder. And at the end of 17 overs, Crimson's 122 for the loss of 1.
And it's drinks break.
Hi, this is Bappi Larry, your Bappi Da. I am coming to Singapore 16 March. Zep at Big Box.
तूने मारी एंट्री यार दिल में बजी घंटी यार टंग तूने मारी एंट्री यार दिल में बजी घंटी यार टंग
Hi, this is Bappi Larry, your Bappi Da. I am coming to Singapore 16 March. Zep at Big Box.
तूने मारी एंट्री यार दिल में बजी घंटी यार टंग तूने मारी एंट्री यार दिल में बजी घंटी यार टंग
Engage Entertainment presents Bling in Holi with the king of disco, Bappi Lahiri.
This is Bappi Larry, your Bappi Da. I am coming to Singapore 16 March. Zep at Big Box.
Book your tickets at www.showtickets.in.
One, two, three.
Back again from the drinks break. Aditya Rangaswamy continues from the Sarangon road end. Crimsons are 122 for 1 after 17 overs. Short and pulled to square leg. That was back out of square. Asnan does well to save a boundary. Slower ball from Aditya. Hit straight into covers. Skipper does well to stop a single there. Rohan moves on to 81 of 60 balls. Vin Param 7 of 16 balls. Chance of a run out, but he missed one. Rohan gets a single.
Today from the ball one, Rohan is batting with full confidence.
I think he has done that throughout the tournament. He has been on top of every team that he has played against, and in every game that he has played in. Very good back foot punch from Param there. And Siddharth Singh does a good job to stop a single. Rohan Rangaraj has also done well in the Premier League. He's been scoring lots of runs for his club.
Yes.
Outside of stump from Aditya. And Param misses a chance of getting a single off that.
35 runs partnership on 34 balls.
That is literally a run a ball, which is very good to be seen coming from the youngsters. It's another great over from Aditya Rangaswamy. Score is 124 for 1 after 18 overs. Siddharth Singh to continue from
Ballister Road end.
well played by Param. Nice juicy half volley from Siddharth, and it's driven down the ground for 4 from Naveen Param. What a great shot. Straight into the screen. No chance for the long off and long on. Score moves on to 128 for 1 after 18.1 overs. Crimsons need another 129 runs off 191 balls, way ahead of the required rate. Well bowled Siddharth. He looks for the pads and it's clipped to square leg. Well done to Virandip Singh for stopping that one. Slow ball from the Siddharth Singh and it's punched down the ground for 1. Naveen Param moves to 13 of 22 balls. Steadily and nicely progressing, building his inning, playing himself into the game, picking the singles and hitting the bad ball, which is required from him.
Good call.
And well bowled to Siddharth Singh. Not really so much outside of stump, but it's a simple cut, short to point, and it is stopped. Another short and wide outside of stump, and it's cut by Rohan to point. Well done to the fielder at point for stopping yet another boundary.
Yusuf is a very good fielder.
And he's been placed in the right position.
Yeah. And normally this is his regular position during even league matches.
Once again, a quick single scampered through. It was interesting when I just stepped out. The crowd also seemed to be really getting involved in the game, supporting either of their teams, the Stars and the Crimsons. The Crimsons fans are sledging the boundary men of the Stars. It's a great atmosphere building up.
You can't do so much as a cricketer. I mean, the fans are expected to say whatever they want to say. You can only control what is within your area.
Asia.
Yes, and
Engage
once again, it's a
Entertainment
good
presents
experience
Bling
for
in
these
Holi
youngsters.
with the king of disco, Bappi Lahiri.
This is Bappi Lahiri, your Bappi Da. I am coming to Singapore 16 March. Z at Big Box.
The great star will be
Book your
coming to
tickets at
Singapore.
www.
Once again, quick single scampered through. Yes, as we were talking, Charlesy, you know, back home in our parts of the world, in Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, even in a school game, you'll have 2,000-3,000 people watching the game. And even the rickshaw drivers know your score. And they all have an opinion.
That's very, very true in the subcontinent. Everyone will follow a game of cricket. Even those that you least expect to follow a game of cricket will secretly somewhere be following the game, and they will walk to you and say, you scored 0, or you went for 30 runs of 2 overs, and you'll be amazed by how these guys stay with the game. Short ball from Aditya, and it's marked.
That certainly was a fantastic shot, and you can hear the crowd whistling. They are really loving it. That was a magnificent hook shot. Aditya Rangasamy digging it in short.
I told you, you cannot bowl short on such a track that has no trace of grass whatsoever. You cannot afford to bowl short. And he gets punished by Rohan. He moves on to 89 of 65 balls. He comes back well with a slower ball. Very, very instrumental. Slower ball has been a very, very good weapon to use on this kind of track.
Yes, we saw you using it expertly when you were bowling for the Crescents, cutting it both away and into the batsman. Those subtle variations in pace.
Another missed run out there, half chance. For me, as a medium pacer, if you can bowl very well on such tracks, then you can bowl anywhere in the world. If you can return good figures as a medium pacer in the subcontinent, then you can bowl anywhere in the world. These are very, very testing tracks to bowl on as a medium pacer. There's totally nothing for the medium pacers. So you've got to think outside the box as a medium pacer. You cannot just run in every ball and slam it in and slam it in. It's not going to work for you. Another slower ball from Aditya, well bowled. That is what he's supposed to be doing. Mixing it up, push one, cut one. Don't let the batsman play into your game. Don't let the batsman know what is coming towards him.
So at the end of 20 overs, Crimson's 138 for the loss of 1. I think the Stars need a bit of regrouping here. They've used 5 bowlers thus far. And that Crimson's worm steadily matching the Stars' top order partnerships.
You see, Jamal, yesterday what I was doing, I was going through with from first match until yesterday game. So we can see that, you know, body language of the players is changing, you know, as much we are going deep towards the final and semi-final, we can witness that. That's good ball.
Good ball, Siddhan. That's a very nice slower ball straight into the stumps. Ooh, I think that's out.
That was missing everything, hitting middle stump.
That is out.
Naveen Param, very, very lucky still to be around. That was dead duck. And Siddhant Singh, he is pleading. He's almost on his force asking the umpire, please.
Yeah, not a big stride from Param down the track. I think it was a very small stride down the track. Oh, well ball Siddhant.
He's fired up. He's really fired up. And he was the man that I said could get a breakthrough for the Stars, because he's intelligently using his pace and cutters on this surface.
I think he's very, very unpredictable, and he does it well on these tracks. He pushes one, he cuts one. So he keeps the batsman guessing which one is he going to push, which one is he going to cut. So you're not sure as a batsman what to play.
Yes, now the Stars and the Crimsons. Let's have a look at that replay again. Siddhant Singh striding in, wicket to wicket. That was hitting middle stump halfway up. Unfortunately, the umpire Anand Nataraj thinks otherwise.
How unlucky can you be as a bowler? After working so hard on such a flat track, you get a chance and it's not given. Another slower ball from Siddhant, and it's punched down the ground for one by Ram Naveen.
Yes, and this is another bowler I think Reza can consider using. Arjun Mutreja is not really a main line bowler, but he's the type of bowler on this type of wicket who can bowl you the odd off cutter, leg cutter, ice cream and get a wicket.
And that's all you need. All you need to do now is break a partnership here. And it rarely comes from your strike bowlers at this point in time. It will come from your, I would say, party time, calling them party time bowlers, not really party time, but your second change bowlers. Half volley to Rohan, and it's hit down the track for 4. You cannot pitch it up to Rohan. He's definitely going to kill you.
Yes, he's on 93 of 69, seeing this like a football. You pitch it up, that's asking for trouble. The umpire inspecting the ball, making sure that it's in shape, intact. I feel like something's going to happen every time Siddhant bowls.
Yes, that's very true. Something is going to happen, because it's not the kind of bowler who is just running in and bowling the same ball throughout the over. He's mixing it up. That's the end of over number 21. Crimsons move on to 143 for 1 after 21 overs.
That's the Stars batting lineup, anchored by that wonderful 100 by Arjun Mutreja right at the top there of 89 deliveries. But unfortunately he got out at the wrong time. But when he was out there, he was looking really good. Played the ball to all parts of the ground, ran hard between the wickets. And now Rohan Rangaraj on the brink of a century of 70 deliveries. He's played magnificently.
That's a brilliant strike rate. He scores very, very, very quick.
Look at the strike rate, 132.85. That's rapid. Ilamaran, the leg spinner, seems to be discussing where exactly to have his field. This is not a bad option. He's a big turner of the ball, but he'll have to get it in the right areas.
That's very true. Right areas are very, very instrumental for the slow bowlers.
And Naveen Param quietly moves on to 16 of 28. He will be looking to rotate the single. And a big thanks to all our sponsors, Mariners Cricket Club, KTP Exports, Synergy Physiotherapy and Sports. Great support they have shown for Singapore cricket. And what a wonderful tournament this EPS has been. Lamaran from the Serangoon Road end. Navin Param immediately manipulates the field and gets his mate back on strike. 12 wides. Far too many, Chelsea.
They've actually done well in the 21 overs. They've not conceded many. They've tried to cut it down. I would have thought maybe it would have been to round about 20 or 25, but they've cut it down.
That was an optimistic appeal. Ball seemed to be sliding with the arm. And also struck outside the leg stump.
You see?
That's a great stop. With a chance of a run out. No, that was a very, very great stop from
Yusuf Aslam doing a good job there, certainly saving a couple of runs for his team. It's a good young fielder there. Backward point. The Stars need something here. Can Ilamaran produce a wicket? It's a good delivery. I think one strategy they might try and adopt is starve Rohan Rangaraj off the strike and bowl a few dot balls to Navin Param. But these two are really quick between the wickets. They're stealing singles at will.
Yes, the good thing is Navin Param is also a player who does not like holding on to strike for so long. Is a kind of player who likes to get the one and get his mate back on strike. So even if they starve Rohan the strike, still he'll look for that one and get on strike.
Yes, good bit of good bit of running there, and that throw would catch the attention of the umpires, I tell you what.
That's from Arjun Mutreja.
Arjun Mutreja threw it straight into the dirt. He was not very subtle about it, was he?
The umpires have really emphasized on keeping the ball in the air, in the circle, and off the surface. Because the surface is too rough that the ball wears out very, very fast.
And also they will try to be making it softer, which would make it harder to hit. And Arjun certainly seemed to have got the memo.
Siddhant Singh continues from the Balestier Road.
I hope he doesn't end up on the Balestier Road, the way Rohan Rangaraj is batting. It's a good delivery, giving no room to the batsman.
Punch to point and no run there.
Yes, the man sitting in front of us, busily working away on his computer. He used to land a fair few deliveries on Balestier Road during his times, and one of the most vicious hundreds that I've ever witnessed. A 27 ball 106 with 5 dot balls.
Dangerous batsman he was. The CEO himself of Singapore cricket, Mr. Sad.
I opened that innings and I made a mess, but he came in and scored 100 that quickly, and it was against all the national team bowlers of that time, and a few of them retired. Saad Khan Janjua, he was a deadly batsman. And that was his second skill.
So the Balestier Road tarmac has really suffered with him during his time of play.
Absolutely.
Were there any buses and cars that were broken?
So almost a chance of a run out. Actually, when he hit, he not only cleared the CSE boundary lines, but he also cleared the entire Balestier Road, and most of them landed in ITE, the institute across. So the tarmac was spared. Yeah, well, one great memory I had of him was, I'll tell you after this delivery. See, dancing bowling. He was batting on 90 plus, and there was this left arm orthodox bowler, Bala, who used to bowl for Singapore, came and delivered the ball, and our chairman selectors was enjoying himself with a cold brew at the bar, and there was a flat 6 that went and landed straight in the bar and brought the bar counter down. There was a lot of spilled drinks that day.
Is the bar still open? Does it still function?
Yes, it does, and it has a corner named after him, the captain's table.
Well done, Mr. CEO, Mr. Sad. Mr. Sad has been very, very instrumental in this tournament. He has been involved in every activity that has run throughout the tournament, and he has been very, very nice to the overseas players. He has made sure that they've gotten a comfortable home to stay here in Singapore, and has really been a father figure to the overseas players that we really look forward to coming back to Singapore, not only to play but also to mentor the youngsters and whatever a chance that will be there for the overseas guys that have participated in the EPS this year to come back and work with Singapore cricket. We once again say thank you to Mr. Sadi. You've been very, very welcoming to us. You've taken us in as your own kids, and we've enjoyed our time in Singapore.
That's great to hear, Charlesy. Absolutely.
That's a free hit. Sinat has just misbehaved on the line. Did he misbehave?
Yes, he has overstepped. He's been adjudged for misbehaving. But
and now he's going to get his punishment for misbehaving. Let's see how he responds.
Oh dear.
Short and wide. Another misfield from the wicketkeeper. And it's a bye. He's lucky he's only got one stroke for misbehaving over the line.
The punishment has been credited to the team account in the form of a bye. But what I was going to say was the Stars were a bit lucky because during the free hit, the batsman had crossed over and Rohan Ranga was on the non-striker's end. Had he been on the striker's end, the punishment would have been a bit more severe. There would have been some bruising.
Score moves on to 152 for 1 after 23 overs. Crimson looking well positioned to win this game. Rohan Rangaraj is on 97 of 78 balls. 3 runs away from a massive century for him here at the IA.
Once again, this is untidy, conceding another overthrow.
Nice, come on.
Ball onto leg stump and it was swept.
Yes, actually the Stars, they just need to get the wicket of Rohan Ranga here because he's playing the innings that's matched Arjun Mutreja's, and that's been hammered away into the trees, into the wilderness. Ilamaran has been deposited over long on 6. And that brings up a magnificent century. Oh, that was not in Param, I beg your pardon. I was getting a bit excited here. We were served cashews with sugar caramel, so I'll put the blame on Dharmi.
I think you've waited far too long for the century from Rohan.
Absolutely. Cut away, bit of misfielding almost. Yusuf Aslam escorting that ball, returns it. Naveen Param seemed to have joined the party.
I tell you what, these boys that are doing their national service, they're very, very strong boys. Very strong boys.
Coming, boys, coming.
Big shot from the bowler, but clearly it looks like that was bat.
Yes, a big inside edge.
He didn't offer a shot. He was leaving the ball. It doesn't matter if it's outside off.
Arjun Muneja prolonging the appeal and prolonging the agony. And he also seemed to have enlisted the services of his captain, who is a trained lawyer. They are arguing the case with Ramsey, the umpire. This is only going to end up one way, not out.
Clearly, this is a wrong place to argue your case. We don't have any courts here.
Also, no DRS. Let's have another look at the replay after this ball. Full toss. Once again, a gift on the legs. Naveen Param gleefully accepts. That's early Easter. Yeah, the Stars need to mentally regroup here. We'll have a look at that replay of that LBW decision. Yes, that appeal was more in frustration than conviction.
Score moves on to 166. Let's look at the replay.
Change your bowler, coming right arm over team.
Struck outside the line of off stump, and also there was a little inside edge. Avi Dixit has been summoned to bowl from the Balestier Road end. Let's see what he can do for the Stars. He's been training very hard. Now is the time to execute. That has been absolutely pounded to long off. Rohan Rangaraj moving to 98. Now within striking distance of a magnificent century.
It's another youngster into the attack. Avi having his chance to have a crack at the batsman. He has also been very instrumental for the Stars throughout the tournament. Another youngster also coming through the ranks for Singapore cricket and also doing his national service.
Smashed away, short, wide. Rohan Rangaraj brings up a century. Very good innings. That was a gift outside off stump. Put away expertly. And he still looks very fit, not tired at all, despite the humid conditions. Waiting on the ball and square cutting it away. 4 runs. Great 100, young man.
Well bowled, well batted. Rohan has been very, very patient, but at the same time, striking the ball nicely and moving at a very, very good rate. Not wasted so many balls.
They really need to see the back of him if they are to have any chance. That's very poor fielding. Virandeep Singh, he'll be disappointed. Gifting away 4 runs. The fast IA outfield has no forgiveness. Avi Dixit rather deflated.
I still believe the youngsters need to know where to bowl on such tracks, because this is their home. They play on these tracks day in, day out, so they should be able to identify where to bowl and where not to bowl on these kind of tracks. This is where they've been born. This is where they've played their cricket, and this is where they will play their cricket. So for me, they think to learn. They have to learn very, very fast on how they approach their game on such wickets. You cannot just be bowling day in, day out without learning where you should be landing your balls, which areas you should be hit as a bowler, and all that.
Oh dear, that looked close.
Very close.
Had he got a finger on it? But Rohan Rangaraj seemed to have gotten back in time. Let's have a look at that replay again. That looked pretty close. Straight drive, gets a finger to it. Let's see where that bat is. Seem to have gotten back in safely. At the end of 25 overs, Crimson's 177 for the loss of 1.
Naveen Param is on 34 of 41. Rohan just got a big 100 there, 107 of 82 balls.
I think now might be a good time to bring back Husnain Shah into the attack. Look to get a wicket somehow, otherwise this game is fast getting away from the Stars. Both these two batsmen putting a huge price on their wickets, batting rather intelligently.
I don't think it will go beyond these two batsmen. I think these guys are going to finish. They're going to finish the job for the Crimsons.
You're a brave man, Charlesy.
Very brave man. I've seen this game ever since I was about 5 years.
I just saw the other week Sri Lanka needed 78 runs for the last wicket with number 11 in South Africa in Port Elizabeth against the best fast bowling attack, and one man managed to score 153, and in the 78 run partnership, the non-striker, the number 11, he only managed 6 runs, 5 of which were overthrows. So in anything can happen in cricket. Rohan Ranga gets a top edge.
And it flies away for 4.
When it's your day, it's your day. Luck favouring the brave. 4 runs.
That was a very, very nail-biting finish in PE, Port Elizabeth, by the Sri Lankans, being that they were coming from Australia and New Zealand, where they were actually hammered properly, and they were written off. Even some players flew back home because of injuries. The likes of Angelo Matthews were not part of that tour. But it was very, very amazing to see the Sri Lankans pull off.
Rohan Rangaraj seemed to be in a hurry to finish this off, and Ilamaran creating opportunities here. Almost a wicket there. Rohan needs to be careful here. He's on a Nelson personally.
Yeah. The Nelson is back here. It looks like it has gotten into his head. Does he know that he's on Nelson?
I don't think he does. can hear the grunt from the batsman. He felt that should have been deposited over long on.
It was a miss hit, but he still manages to get one.
It's a very good partnership. 94 runs off 82 balls.
We have to bring one in. Okay. No.
The Crimsons needing another 75 runs off 146 balls.
Ilamaran looking dangerous. He's looked the most likely to get a wicket.
Yeah, because I can see now both batsmen are trying to slog sweep him, looking to hit him across the line.
And he's
moving away from their style of play of punching the ball down the ground for one.
And this is something that these young batsmen need to learn now. They are on top, they are controlling the game. All they require is risk-free cricket, and they should not allow the opposition any look-in once you're on top. 182 for the loss of one at the end of 26 overs. That's when all the top teams in the world that were dominating cricket, they were so ruthless, whether it was Clive Lloyd's Windies or the Richards Windies, Alan Border's Australia, Ricky Ponting's Australia. Whenever they dominated, whichever team that has dominated world cricket, once they were on top, you could forget about beating them. Virandeep Singh brought back in. Reza Ghaznavi looking for wickets here. And if they manage to get Rohan Rangaraj, it will give them a slight look in. Still more than 70 runs to be scored. And we saw how quickly the Stars went from being in a very comfortable position, truly in the driver's seat, to not even completing the 50 overs.
That's very, very true. But I still believe the Crimsons have got a very solid top order batsman. Because from here, if the Crimsons lose another wicket, I think it will be Chetan walking in, and there's also a very, very solid batsman. So for me, I think the Stars have actually they've lost it. That's what I see. Because Chetan is also, he will strike the ball nicely and he will not waste any time on the wicket. He's a guy who likes taking the game to the bowlers.
And the other point is both Rohan Rangaraj and Chetan Suryavanshi, they play their club cricket on this surface at the IA, and they know it like the back of their hand. Here's the chance. Can it be capitalized? That is the wicket I was talking about. Could it be the opening? Wonderful delivery. Virandeep Singh brought back into the attack to do exactly that. Get a wicket.
And he manages to get a breakthrough for his team.
Arjun Mutreja, very safe field under that. Collecting it, making no mistake. And that brings Chetan Suryavanshi to the middle. And he can really get things motoring along very quickly. He's a terrific striker of the ball, a dangerous player on any condition. If they don't get him out early, this 74 runs could disappear very quickly.
We could be going home in the next five overs.
Absolutely. Especially given that Rohan Ranga is well set. Chetan Suryavanshi, believe it or not, was his coach at one point in time. So coach and student batting together. There you see Saad Khan Janjua, the CEO of Singapore Cricket. Mahmood Ghaznavi, the president. Observing this EPS, they must be pleased. Well pleased. What a great show this has been. A great platform for the youngsters, the senior players, and also the foreign internationals to come and showcase their skills in Singapore. Virandeep Singh, he's done his job, but it's not yet over. Stars would ideally want him to pick one more quick wicket.
Virandeep Singh also turns out for the Malaysia national team. It's amazing how Malaysia and Singapore are so close to each other that within 5 hours you'll be in KL. Virandeep Singh has been turning out for the Stars throughout the tournament, and he's been in and out of Singapore.
That's your flight away?
Yes. I first saw young Virandeep Singh when he toured with the Malaysian national side here during the Stan Naga, the 3 T20 matches that was played about 6 months back, and he really impressed me. He's a very talented, skillful cricketer. He's a wonderful guy off the park as well.
He's also got a brother that has been very instrumental for Malaysia cricket. They quite look alike, and you could confuse them on a given day.
Oh, that's poor fielding.
And Chetan gets away.
And you could see Reza Ghaznavi kick the turf. He really wants the pressure maintained, not easy singles given away as such. Rohan Ranga immediately calls for 2, but it's gone for 4. He's the man in form, the man who's been there with 100. He will make you pay, even if you ever so slightly.
He has batted so well this evening. He has been very, very, very key for the Crimsons.
And these performances against top quality bowling, against good opposition, it really makes for headaches for selectors. But they are all good headaches, because you'll be spoilt for choice. Augurs well for Singapore cricket.
It's going to be tough for the selectors as they head into the World World T20 qualifier in Dubai, where they'll be facing the likes of UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Malaysia, and Nepal. It's I think, to me, that is the toughest group in the ICC T20 World Cup qualifiers.
Spot on. Yusuf Aslam comes in. I don't know so much about this bowling change. Both Chetan Suryavanshi and Rohan Ranga loves off spinners. That might lead to their downfall. Reza might be counting on that. Let's wait and see. This is very good batting by Chetan Suryavanshi.
Well negotiated single there from Chetan to play himself into the game and get Rohan onto strike.
Yes, and that's really experience. He's not into any ego battle. He understands exactly what his team requires to win this game. And as I said, Rohan Rangaraj has swatted that ball flat a long way over long on, and he's fetched it from very far. But the control he's shown with these shots is amazing. I am really enjoying this batting performance.
Clearly you can see Chetan is not even bothered about it. It's like it's like sitting down with your father. So the father will let the son do the job as he watches from the other side. Not forgetting Chetan has coached Rohan at one stage in his life. He has been very instrumental in his cricket career. So Chetan, I will be very pleased when Rohan finishes the job.
And also he captains him at the Indian Association. Both of these two play together. Chetan's the captain.
Catch him!
Now that could have been a caught and bowled, but Yusuf Aslam was not very interested. I think he decided to keep his fingers.
Well done to the umpire for getting out of the way.
Well,
It finally hits his fingers. Nowhere to run for the bowler.
Rohan Rangaraj powerfully blasting. That was a tough delivery. I think he did well to stop a few runs there. Good comeback.
About Yusuf.
Say.
It would have been poetic justice had that gone on to hit the stumps, but not to be. Instead, drifts to the legs, clipped away for a single.
Score moves on to 198 for 2 after 28 overs.
And I must say, this almost looks like the handing of a guard, the changing of a generation. Chetan Suryavanshi is been a swashbuckling stroke player for Singapore for many years. Very consistent run scorer. And he's out there with his young scorcher. And now he's doing the business. Rohan Rangaraj, I think even might be really pushing on the doors, showing the national selectors what he's made of.
Yes, that's very true. Chetan has been very instrumental for Singapore cricket. I've had a few running battles with Chetan in the WCL different divisions. The first one was in WCL Division 3 in Kampala, 2017 in May. Then the recent one was WCL 3 in Muscat, Oman. So, and Chetan has been very instrumental in most of these games that we've played against them as a Ugandan side. Chetan and John Mutreja have been key players for Singapore. They've always pulled the innings out of the grave, and they've put out strong performances for Singapore.
It's a good delivery by Aditya Rangaswamy. Chetan Suryavanshi tonks it down to long on.
For you, he's coming left arm over.
Yes, Chetan used to be one of the players when he even used to play in the league days, before we changed to coloured clothing and white ball. If I wasn't playing on that day, I would get up in the morning to come and watch. Rohan Ranga.
Short and wide, but it's a slower ball from Aditya Rangaswamy. Rohan couldn't pick it up, but he does very well to negotiate it for a single.
What I'm really pleased to see is the hunger of Rohan Rangaraj. He doesn't give his wicket away. That looked close, and it's gone. He strikes. It's that late swing. Even though the angle might have been indicating it was going down the legs, it straighted off the wicket and it would have hit leg stump.
Clearly you can see a celebration from Aditya Rangaswamy. He looks very relieved that he has finally picked one for the day.
Let's have a close look at that replay. Seems to be going there, pitching on midland leg, hitting midland leg. That brings Prashin Param to the crease.
Another brother of the Params.
Navin's elder brother. Another very elegant right-hand batsman. And the way Rohan has batted, what it has really done is taken the run rate pressure off the Crimsons in this chase. But I tell you, wickets have a way of putting pressure on themselves. Can Rangaswamy eke out another wicket here? then it will put a lot of pressure on young Rohan Rangaraj to carry this innings to the end.
The Crimsons have done well, 200 for 3 after 28.3 overs, needing only 57 from 129 balls. Record rate is about 2.6. They're well over the record rate and they don't need to do anything fancy here. Just need to be picking ones, punch the ball down the ground for a single, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to play expensive shots here. And then they'll be home and dry. Photos from Aditya Rangaswamy. And he misses it.
We've had a visit here in the comm box from the President of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Mahmood Ghaznavi, making sure things are fine, running smoothly. Prashin Param takes guard, and he's going to be facing a pumped up Aditya Rangaswamy after collecting that wicket. That really was the opportunity. You can see how much that meant to the fielders and the bowlers. Yusuf Aslam, had he hit, it would have been curtains and they would have got the main man, Rohan Rangaraj, out. But it looks like Rohan's day.
Yeah, how lucky can you be as a batsman? I think Aditya should have run back to the stumps after that delivery, just to make sure he helps himself get a wicket for himself and the team.
Guided away to deep point. Yusuf Aslam on hot pursuit. And these are the differences and the improvements these teams will have to make. The best sides in world cricket, when you are offered 3 stumps on view, 9 times out of 10, they will throw it down. And the key thing is to practice. Crimson's 202 for the loss of 3 at the end of 29. Husnain Shah being brought back into the attack from the Serangoon Road end. Might be a bit too late. Charlesy, are you still sticking to the original version? Crimsons are going to cruise home.
At 202 for 3 after 29, they're well ahead of this game. And with one of the top order guys still in, Rohan on 126 of 93, he won't be moved by anything.
Can Husnain Shah do something special for the Stars here? Can he get a bit of late reverse swing? Is there any further twist to this tale? We'll wait and see as it unfolds.
I think Rohan, all he has to do is just stick around, keep picking the singles, and let the other guys do the job, because he looks tired and worn out. It's been very, very, very hot in Singapore, and today has been about 38, 37 degrees. So for me, at 126, he should just be picking singles and let the other guys try and take on the bowlers. He has literally done his job as a batsman.
No ball. Smashed away. Bursting through the covers. And a free hit signalled. Husnain Shah is not pleased at all. And the umpire seems to indicate
there's always been a confusion on that line because of the surface. The painting wears out so fast, so it's very hard for the umpire to clearly see where the markings of the line are. So that's why some of the bowlers feel, oh, they're not over the line, whereas the umpire sees that you're over the line. So it's been very, very hard for both the bowler and the umpire to actually.
Wide signaled. Free hit continues. Yes, I'm a bit surprised that they don't remark it during the drinks break. Would make things easier.
Yeah, I think it should be remarked during the drinks break, because this is what is done all over the world. Because when you do a bit of sweeping on the track, you also do on the markings as well. But I'm surprised they don't do it.
It was a no ball, so it wouldn't count. This innings from Rohan Rangaraj has literally brought the Stars to their knees.
I think Rohan has made it count for the Crimsons. He has stuck there and he has taken on half chance there from Rohan. Smacked down the ground, and it is all short of the fielder.
That was a very poor effort from the long off fielder. He seemed to have made no conscious effort to catch that ball at all. Virandeep Singh might have fallen asleep under the coconut tree there, the far end. And that's the wicket they're looking for. And I'm not sure that that's the type of support the bowler running in hard requires. The Stars need to be careful, because they might be thinking that they have already won the 50-over leg of this competition as a result of superior run rate. But the Crimsons are doing this rather rapidly. I hope it doesn't turn out to be the story of the rabbit and the tortoise. Now that story I can explain to you, Charlesy. But I'm sure you know it.
I'm waiting to listen.
This story originated in Africa.
Go on.
Once upon a time, there was a rabbit and a tortoise. They decided to have a race. As Hosnain Shah charges in. Trust me, I'm going to continue on the story, because this is very interesting, a bit more than the cricket right now. Virandeep Singh has really motivated me to tell this story.
Hosnain Shah unleashes his stock ball, which is a short ball. The batsman looks unmoved, gets out of the line, and
I get the feeling that this short bowling has only been a large waste of energy throughout this tournament.
that's very true, because as a medium pacer, you really need to gather so much energy for you to extract that short ball from such a track. You really need to give it everything. You cannot just run in and let it go, because you won't get the required bounce that you want. So yeah, you're very, very right. The short ball has been a really total waste of time for the medium pacers, and most of them have been dispatched for boundaries.
Or conceded 4 wides, a 4 plus a wide over the keeper's head. This chase now, unless the Crimsons do something really silly, are well within their control. Rohan Ranga might even be thinking of his 150. And if there's a player that deserves it, Rohan Ranga is. He's played beautifully.
He's well destined to get his 150. He has batted so well throughout the inning. Aditya Rangaswamy comes back from the Balestier Road. Still struggling with the names of the roads here in Singapore, but I will get there.
You're doing a great job, Charlesy. I'll be in trouble if I was in Kampala.
Very true, you'll be in trouble, but not so much because most of the roads are named after the British colonials.
And once again, Ilamaran in the shadows there, a deep third man, made no real effort to go for that catch. He looked to be pleased just to gather it and send in the return. To be fair to him, it was travelling rather rapidly. They are doing it in singles. Risk-free cricket, intelligent cricket.
That's all they need to do at this stage of the game, unless they need to get this score in a certain number of overs for them to be champions. But I still believe there's something that has been worked out, and they have it at the back of their minds that they need to do something.
Yes, Rohan seemed to be tiring a little bit. Not so much physically, but maybe mentally. Almost premeditated that pull. And the umpire
still complaining about the line. That's the umpire's line, actually. All bowlers should know that is the umpire's line. You cannot mess around with that line.
Ball being blasted down, sending the Exco members scurrying away. Out of danger. Arjun Mutreja does the fielding.
That was another slow ball from Rangaswamy.
Yes, these viewers sitting right in front of the comm box next to the boundary line, the dignitaries, they need to be a bit careful. Now this is really silly.
So many overthrows in this inning that have probably cost them another 20-30 runs just from the overthrows.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't mind if at least one of these overthrows had hit the stumps, ricocheted and given away a single. But this is just, as my old coach would say, dumb stuff. Well, Sithit Shinde, very optimistic, appealing for that one. That would have missed another set of stumps. Crimson's 214 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 31 overs. And the Stars have no one else but themselves to blame as they take drinks.
Oh, didn't fall. He didn't fall. It hit the. Didn't fall.
We'll come back from the break.
सिंगल नहीं है विरन आराम से हो गया शाबाश 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 गाइस आराम से शाबाश हो रहा है ये शाबाश
The Crimsons continue with their chase here at the IA Singapore Indian Association Cricket Ground.
Yeah, one.
Short and pulled away for one. Crimsons continue with their chase. That's very untidy from the wicketkeeper. Bowled down the leg. And runs off for four. Would like to thank our sponsors, gold sponsor Synergy Physio Therapy and Sport. I think the overseas players have made that gentleman very busy this season. Every game they've been down there for a review on their various negos here and there.
Yes, he's been doing a good job. And our title sponsors, Mariners Cricket Club, KTP Exports. What?
That's very, very rare. We'll need to look at the replay and see how this unfolded.
Was that given out caught behind or cannot be an LPW?
I think it's caught behind.
Sithij making a grab in the dying moments of this game. There seemed to have been
a glove.
And umpire Ramesh, experienced man, judges Prashin Param to be out. Correct decision. Looks like it brings young Anshul to the crease.
Umpire, you watching this not? It's about an umpire would have told you of that. Boys. Boys. Oh, drop.
Virandeep Singh. Comes in from the Balestier Road end. Well, Anshul Singhania didn't know much about that one.
Virandeep Singh continues for the Stars. He has got 2 for 14, 5.2 overs. He has been very key for the Stars throughout the inning. Crimsons are on 220 for 4 after 32.3 overs. Moving nice and steadily towards the target.
Pulled away to deep mid wicket for a single.
Rohan moves on to 133 of 106.
That's your off stump.
Anshul Singhania needs to be careful playing around his front pad. Virandeep Singh might be looking to trap him there.
That's the end of over number 33. Score is 221 for 4. Crimson's needing another 36 runs from 102 balls. Way above the required rate.
Ilamaran continuing from the Serangoon Road end. Cut away to sweeper. Rohan Rangaraj. 16 runs away from, if he gets it, what would be a magnificent 150.
He's batted brilliantly today.
And there's no reason why he couldn't. He can deposit a few over the boundary ropes and he might be well within it.
I've fallen a victim of him in a couple of days. Like I said, he's a very dangerous batsman and a good find for Singapore cricket.
Anshul Singh Harvey takes it away. Siddhant Singh, wonderful effort there. Even in the dying moments of this game, giving 100%, saving 3 runs for his team. Wonderful to see. Stars still fighting, still not giving up.
Catch him! Catch him!
This man has been the difference. Effortlessly lofts it over long on. Moves into the 140s. Magnificent shot. Just a flick of the wrist. It's gone a long way.
Rohan has literally taken away the game from the Stars single-handedly. And that is what you need as a coach from your top batsmen. To bat through the innings and everyone else plays around you. He has done it so nicely this evening.
And he blasts this one through deep extra cover. The sweeper fielder seems to not have picked that one up, but that goes to 4. Rohan moving on to 144. Let's see whether he's sharp enough to take a single and retain the strike.
Looks like he's wasting no time. He wants to get home as early as possible. Tomorrow being a Monday, he needs to be in bed as early as possible.
And he deserves a good night's sleep after a magnificent innings.
What a wonderful weekend it has been for Rohan. Today, Little India has been so busy. Could you be knowing why? Because I came through on the underground and there were lots of people around Little India. So many shops open and other outside stores set up in the open spaces. Was it market day or it's daily business in Little India? Like?
Sundays usually is a very busy time where a lot of the expat workers, particularly in the construction industry, come down for their day off. They have a little picnic. There's also the shops set up, and then they get picked up in the evening. Yes, Ilamaran bowls a dot to end the 34th over. Crimsons well in the driving seat, 233 for the loss of 4. As it has been a great showcase, this 50-over leg as well. With this win, the Crimsons would also equal the number of wins, all teams winning 2 matches apiece.
It's been a very competitive 50-over league. It has not been easy for any team, but all the teams have done pretty well. You know, losing a few and also winning a few. It has been pretty balanced for all the teams.
Once again, Reza Ghaznavi putting in the dive, doing 100% in the field. Still a slip in.
That's all you need to do at this point.
Yes.
Just knock it down for one, knock it down for one. You don't have to do anything outrageous.
Anshul Singhania getting his partner, who's on 144, back on strike. Bit of fielding there by Yusuf Aslam. Rohan Rangaraj buying his time. I'm sure he will look to deposit one down to deep mid wicket with the angle now. Didn't get a hold of it. Crosses over for a single.
Moves on to 145 of 114 balls. Crimsons are 235 for 4 after 34.5 overs, needing another 22 runs from 91 balls to win this game. Virandip to finish the over. cut away to extra cover. And they pick 2 off the last ball of the over. Crimson's 237 for 4 after 35 overs. Avi continuing for the Stars. First ball of the over goes down the leg. Ball outside of stump and Rohan slashes it. It flies to third man, moves on to 146 of 116 balls. Cover drive and it goes for 4. Crimsons move on to 242 for 4 after 35.5 overs. Going down the leg and it's a leg by. That's a ball from Avi. But it's punched down the ground for a single. Rohan moves to 147 of 117. 3 runs short of his 150.
Wait, no. Yeah.
That's how the Stars bowlers have turned out today. It's been a very good day in the office for the Stars. One man, Rohan, has taken all the bowlers to the cleaners today for the Stars. Grandeep Singh continues. First ball goes on to leg stump and is swept for 4. Crimsons move on to 149 for 4 after 36.1 overs. Another straight one from Grandeep. Well judged by the batsman there. It was way outside off stump. It's a leg by. Short and wide, missed by Rohan.
Not out, yeah? Wait.
Another missed chance of a run out here. Forward defensive to covers. Short and wide, cut away to extra cover. Another single is picked up by Rohan. Moves on to 148 of 120 balls. Score is 251 after 37 overs. Crimsons edging closer to the finishing line this evening at the Singapore Indian Association Sports Club. Avi continues for the Stars from the Sarangon Road end. 18 runs off his 2 overs. Full and straight, punched back to the bowler. I've just been informed that the Crimsons need to win this in 41 overs to become the 2019 EPS 50 over league champions.
That's a magnificent 150 by Rohan Rangaraj. Deserving. He's taking his team closer to the target and to the championship. And there you have it. The Crimsons have done it. They're the champions of the 2019 Mariners EPS. Anshul Singhania playing the winning runs. And a magnificent 153 not out by Rohan Rangaraj.
Well done to the Crimsons for a brilliant finish here at the IA. Well done to their coach, John Menon. They've been clinical and classical throughout the tournament. They've batted well throughout the tournament. Rohan Rangaraj has been very instrumental in this championship for the Crimsons. They've managed to come out on top as champions of the 2019 Marina EPS 50 over league. Well done once again to the Crimsons. It has been a wonderful evening here at the IA. Handshakes there from both teams. Led by their captain, the Crimsons. And that's how the game stood out today. John Menon got 100 of 89 for the Stars, supported by Virandip Singh, 76 of 93, Aditya 16 of 25. Tafara Chingwara for the Crimsons, 3 for 38. Janak Prakash, 3 for 78 in 8 overs. And Chetan, 1 for 3 of 1 overs. That's how the table stands. Crimsons are the champions of the 2019 EPS Marina 50 over league. Played 4 matches, won 2, lost 2, 6 points. Actually, they win it on net run rate. 0.5 net run rate. Stars come second with 0.18 net run rate.
Mic test. Good evening and welcome to the presentation ceremony of the 2019 Mariners EPS 50 over leg. What a wonderful competition it has been, and we've seen some great cricket. It's my first duty to introduce the presentation ceremony party. We have the President of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Mahmood Ghaznavi, the Deputy President of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Subir Gatak, and the Vice President of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Sivasanthanam, and the CEO of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Saad Khan Janjua. The first award to be given away was for today's game, and there were some splendid performances from both the Stars and the Crimsons, with 100 from Arjun Muteja to start things off, and a wonderful opening stand with Virandeep Singh. But today's man of the match is really one-sided. A fantastic unbeaten 153 goes to Rohan Rangaraj and will be handed over by Mr. Sivasanthanam. And the next award will be for the best bowler, will also be presented by the Vice President, Mr. Sivasanthanam, and for his 11 wickets in 4 matches and an absolute tight giveaway spell, and for pushing his team to the championship, Tafara Chingwara from the Crimsons. Thank you. Now I would like to call upon the Deputy President, Mr. Subir Gatak, to hand over the next 2 awards. And this goes to the best batsman of the tournament. Once again, number of choices. There was Aditya Malik with a good 100, and then Arjun Muteja with 2 good 100s. But the best batsman in this tournament, 2019 Mariners EPS, Rohan Rangaraj. The next award to be given away is the Man of the Series award. And once again, there were many contenders with both bat and ball putting in their 100%. but for his 226 runs and 2 centuries, the man of the series of the Mariners EPS 2019 50 over leg, Arjun Mutreja of the Stars. Mike. Thank you, Mr. Subedata. Now, before we hand over the championship trophy and the winners' medals, I would like to call upon the President of the Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Mahmood Ghaznavi, to say a few words. Mr. Ghaznavi.
Good evening, everyone. This is the first time we've had this EPS series for 50 overs matches, and I think it's a sign that we know what is necessary to lift Singapore cricket in the right direction and to the heights that we need to ascend to if we want to make sure that we become better at the international arena. I've said this many times, you are as good as your competition. So the hundreds that you score in the local competition, they put you in a certain level, but the hundreds and the 50s and the 20s and the match-winning efforts that you put in the EPS series put you in a different league altogether, because the competition is stiffer and you know exactly that you've earned those runs, and you know that whatever achievements you've got behind you have been in a competition that's far stiffer than you expect at the highest level of cricket in Singapore. So those of you who have done well, congratulations. Those who haven't done well, you've got to improve, because that's where the difference is between the EPS and the local league. All the foreign players who've come here, thank you very much. I cannot say enough without telling you that a lot of hard work has gone into this tournament. There are many people who have put in hard work. The umpires, the match officials, the SEA staff, the ground staff has been here every night, almost every night, not only the days when you are here, but also the days prior to those matches preparing for you. So to them I say thank you very much, all the coaches, all the foreign players, and above all our sponsors who have come here and had belief in this series. Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Ghaznavi. Now we are at the business end of this presentation ceremony. I would like to call the champions, but before saying that, going into this game, the Stars were ahead, and it was a must-win game for the Crimsons, and once again it would have gone down to the net run rate. But I would like to invite the winning team in no particular order, but the captain should come last. With their win well within 41 overs, the 2019 Mariners EPS champions, Crimsons. Please come forward to receive your medals. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the 2019 Mariners EPS winners, Crimsons! On 3 shout champions, yep. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to the presentation ceremony. Here we have the champions of the 2019 Mariners EPS. 1, 2, 3. Good night and see you with the T20 leg. Thank you very much.
Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
Extra hip.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Showtickets.asia. Engage Entertainment presents Bling in Holi with the king of disco, Bappi Lahiri.
This is Bappi Lahiri, your Bappi Da. I am coming to Singapore 16 March. Zep at Big Box.
Book your tickets at www.showtickets.asia.